I was thinking after the last video, what would be a good follow-up? And suddenly it hit me, what good is working in the garden and all of the heat and weeding and fighting the bugs and everything else if you don't do anything with it? If you just let it go to rot, it doesn't really work. So since I've had such a really bumper crop this year of terrific tomatoes, I thought I'd show you how I do a basic tomato sauce. In addition, I've had some questions on how to peel and seed a tomato. A lot of the recipes you see will tell you to do that, but what's the easiest way to do that? It's not with a paring knife as you would think, but it's just as easy, if not easier. So first thing you want to do with each tomato is first core them. Take your little paring knife and just kind of easily go around the core of each tomato. Whether it's a paste or round one, it's all the same. The only difference is how deep you may need to cut. Get the core out, throw it in your compost pile, and then small X on the opposite end. This makes it peel a little easier in a little while, as we'll show you. Go to the next one. What is this little core right here? Just get your knife in, ease it around as much as you can. I don't pretend to be an expert with the coring, but they generally come out pretty easy. Put it in your compost pail, or in my case just a bowl. X, and then X the other end. You can see the little slits. Do another one here for you. Just X the ends, and then we go and take the core out. Some of these are a little small for this big of a knife, and that's it. Put it in your bowl. I'm going to go do the rest of these and see you in a while. Okay, now that I've got the tomatoes all X'd on the edges and cored so the stems are gone, the next thing to do is get a pot of boiling water going so we can blanch them a little bit, just enough to peel the skins off. Generally I like to use a nice big Dutch oven for that, and we'll also use it again a little bit later, but just a nice good sized pot, enough to hold a fair number of tomatoes. You don't want to do it all at once, because otherwise you find yourself rushing too much. So I'll get a big pot of water going, just enough to let them float in. You don't need to have a giant swimming pool going for them. And then get the water going, and as soon as it comes to a boil, we'll move on to the next step. Well, now that the water is boiling actively, we'll take just a couple tomatoes and drop them in. I use a spider because it's gentle on the tomatoes, and it allows me to drop them in without getting too close to the water. Don't crowd them, but keep an eye on them. Give them just long enough to float. They will reduce the temperature of the water a while, and when you initially put them in there, but it'll come up real quick. And as soon as it's ready, you'll see by looking at the skins. Now these, see, they're already starting to split. See the skins here? These are already, look at, see that one's just fallen off already. It's time to come out. So with that, we grab the spider, take these out, and drop them into the ice bath immediately. That stops the cooking. You don't want to cook them. We're just trying to loosen the skin up. Get the next batch in there. Get these rolling around a little bit in the ice. And then with your spider, it does get to be sort of a ballet, because they don't take long in this boiling water to loosen the skins up, as you saw in that first batch. Get them in there. While they're coming up, ones you just took out, grab the peelings right off the end. They come off just like that. Really easy. And then put them in another pan. I gotta get a bowl here to keep them in. And grab the next one. You see how easy it comes off? It's just unbelievably simple. That quick bath in the hot water, it just like makes them shed. It's amazing. Now that we've got them all skinned, leaving us some nice tomatoes, San Marzanos, as I said. There's a couple of ways to seed them, some easier than others. First, just take your tomato, hold over a bowl with a strainer in it, fine sieve, and just squeeze and smoosh the tomato over the sieve into the bowl. The sieve will catch the seeds, and then you take the pulp that's left after you get as many seeds off as you can and just save in a separate bowl. The juice falls through and the seeds are held by the sieve, and you've got the pulp in your hand, which you can then look at, make sure the seeds are gone, and then just toss over in your bowl and continue. Take your next one. It's actually kind of fun. Squeezing the tomatoes, rub the seeds out, and move from there. Fine mesh strainer in the bottom. And because it has to catch it, I found that it's best to slice your tomato into at least some small chunks. And a couple seem to work better in the food mill than just a single one. Toss in your tomatoes and go to work. As you turn, it will rub the tomato across this fine sieve, saving the juice down below, and then keeping the seeds and most of the pulp up above. Now we have our tomato all seeded, nice consistency.